What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Draymond Green Show with BD, my dog. What's up, my brother?
What's up, my bro? Happy New Year's. I see you
I
in the
appreciate it, bro.
PJs. You know what I mean? Hey, bro. Hey, the big dog needs some rest.
Hey, listen. First off, Happy New Year to you as well,
Happy
my
New
brother.
Year, my bro. Yes,
Um,
sir.
my kids are still out of school until Wednesday, and I'm tired.
I can imagine.
Uh, I assumed that they were going back to school on Monday. Till my wife broke the news to me on Sunday that they don't go back to school to Wednesday. Um, and so, the house has been a bit interesting today. A lot of energy. And
I
so
can
I
imagine,
finally
bro.
made it here. If I lack energy, just know they took it from me.
No,
But
bro. I already know.
I appreciate my brother stuff. I got 10, 8, 4, and 1.
Damn, dude. I got 10 and 8, and they just went back to school. And I got
Yeah.
a birthday party where I done been on so many roller coasters. Like I'm dizzy. You know what I mean? Like I woke up one morning, my eyes was crossed, and I didn't know why, bro, because I was on roller coasters for like every other day over the Christmas break. So
Mm.
I feel you. You know what I
Hey,
mean? I'm just trying to get some balance.
listen, I am cooked. But before we get into the episode, please make sure y'all subscribe to the Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis so you don't miss any episodes.
Yeah, that's right. Follow the show on all social media platforms at Draymond Show so you don't miss none of our announcements. In this episode, we'll be answering questions from the fans, of course. We're going to start with some basketball questions because we got to get back into the groove. Then we're going to get some of the more bizarre, out there questions you guys asked us. But, for the most part, Dub Nation, what's happening? The first one from Made It to the Cup to Draymond. Is there a real beef between you and Zach Edey, or is it more Warriors versus Memphis?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I mean, there can't be.
Before you answer that, I do want to give you credit when you said he plays in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
Like that, people don't understand that that is the highest compliment to give someone. You know what I mean? But people, that's what it is. It's a compliment. It is a high compliment. You know what I mean? And so now you can answer the question about the beat.
Absolutely. Yeah, the reporter asked me, he's like, do you think Zach Edey's a good basketball? Like, in the NBA. Like, is he a good player? Like, he's an NBA player. Like,
Right.
what do you mean? I think so many people, like you said, people just get it mixed up. Like, if you're in the NBA, you do something well in basketball.
Right.
It's
Right.
like very
Right.
well. Like that's
Right.
just the reality of it. So asking me like, is he a good player to kind of
Entice something.
trying to get me to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
off the rail? Like, no, he in the NBA. Like, I ain't one of these clowns that's gonna be like, no, he sucked. Like,
Yeah.
no, bro, he in the NBA. Like, leave it at that. But is there a real beef? Whatever. I mean, I don't. He hasn't done enough in the NBA for there to be a real beef.
Yeah.
Kind of the way that I interpret it. What it feels like to me is, all right. So you know how.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if y'all
I
know, but
do.
the
I
way it
do.
goes, so it's
I
like
do.
if someone if someone has been built up to be
You're getting
like
pumped up.
this
Yeah.
bully
Yeah.
and which they try to build me up to be as like the big bad bully.
Uh-huh.
Then for him, it's like, all right, someone has told me so many times that I can't get bullied by this dude to where I'm gonna just
Yeah.
come out like like
Yeah.
overly doing
Overly
stuff
aggressive.
so
Yep.
you don't bully me. And the reality is, when you do that, being who I am and like the amount of experience that I have with, just what I do, when you do that, you're kind of overdoing it. And so you kind of show that you're a little softer than most just by overdoing it. And so the way that it ends up coming off to me is like they've told him so many times, like, you gotta go ahead, and then it's just like, and it's like, bro, that didn't even make sense. Like, that's like every time you get near him, he want to like deliver a blow. It's like, yeah, you I watch you play and you don't do that. So what that shows me is that someone has told you, like, yo, you got to be ready for him and you got to do this and you got to do that. And it's like overzealous. So, no, there's no real beef with Zach Edey. And Memphis, we've played them in a couple playoff series, 2 or 3, the old Grizzlies with the big homie Zebo and Marc Gasol, and Mike Conley, TA.
Yeah.
We played them on our rise to greatness. And we were able to knock them out on the way to our first. Anytime you play someone in a playoff series, it automatically builds like this strife between you. And so then there was kind of that strife amongst us from that. And fast forward, we end up playing them again on the way to another championship. And so we beat them again. And when we beat them again, again, it creates this like strife of like, and then when it really creates a strife. It's one thing if you beat them in the first round and then you lose in the second round, it really creates a strife. But I mean, it really like, it creates a little strife, but not crazy. But when you go on to win a championship and you beat them on your way, it like the next year they come back, it's really like, and that's kind of what it is with Memphis. Whereas like every time we see them, it's a battle, and in large part due to they haven't beaten us in a playoff series, and so they're like the overzealous, team that want to act like it's a rivalry, but it really it really can't be a rivalry until both teams are winning. Needless to say, there's a competitive respect amongst us that they get up for us and we get up for them. And that's just for sure.
I would say that. I would say, like, it's almost like this young Memphis squad, they came in and they're like, y'all gonna pay attention to us.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? It's like, y'all not gonna treat us like that. You know what I mean? And they made themselves, you know what I mean? To one, be able to get in the playoffs, to have this record. And so it's kind of like a little brother bravado.
Yeah, 100%.
That's like, we gonna keep knocking. And so it just kind of raised the ante for Big Brother to say, okay, yeah, we gonna keep fighting too, but we know a lot of things y'all don't know. You know what I mean? And so that experience, at some point, and then when you look at what Memphis needs to accomplish to get over the hump, and you look at Zach Edey, right? It's like you need him to be the enforcer that you miss in Steven Adams, but he has to understand as a young player that you enforce your game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You enforce your game. And so I mean, to me, it's, of course it ain't no beef because he's a young player and he's just trying to figure out how to step up, you know what I mean, and meet the challenge. And it's just like you're playing against a dude who's done this over and over and over again. So you kind of like, if you don't figure it out, he at your mercy anyway. So, but at the same time, that when you look at the game, it's like, what I don't like, what I feel is unfair is you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And the history of the league is always like the veterans are allowed to like turn young men to grown men in the league.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so that's what the league is missing a lot. And I say, like, just kind of like, I know that the refs letting people play, but if you're going to let people play, then you got to let, like, basketball is a game of like space. You know what I mean? And how much space can you take up and take advantage? So if somebody get accidentally hit or grabbed or pulled or wrestled to the ground, not everything is a flagrant foul. Not everything is, to go to review. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
not every time somebody go to the hole and fall hard. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, we gotta loosen up that, because they're not letting you kind of be the vet. And to me, it's kind of, excuse my French, it's fucking the game up, because you don't have no rivalry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have, like, that tussle was a nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, moving on.
Call the first foul.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Call the first foul. Like, if you're going to call a flagrant foul. You know what I mean? Like, that don't make no sense when you wrapping somebody up. People have been wrapped up plenty of times. You know what I mean? Going to the hole in worse situations. And so if we calling it to protect these young dudes, and if you calling it protection, that ain't really no protection, because they should be the ones who kind of like get groomed in the being. He should be doing that to the next young center that's coming in the league 5-6 years from now.
100%. That's the way it used to be. And like when I came in the league, obviously when you came in, like I remember Zebo doing me like this, and Mark Jackson said to me like, "Wow, you gonna let him pat your head like that?"
Yeah.
And it was such a moment for me of like, I don't let nobody touch my head, but that's my big homie. Like, and so a part of me wanted to like,
yeah.
But the reality is like, that's the OG. Like, as much as I want to knuck up, like, bro, don't touch my head. I'm going to get a call from Tom Izzo the next day. I'm going to get a call from Martine Cleaves the next day, and Jason Richardson the next day. And I'm going to only get those calls if Zebo even allow me to make it to that call, because how dare you disrespect me, the big homie? Like, are you out of your mind? So
for sure.
Just putting it in terms of like street, I don't even know if you making it to that call because of what I've done to you already.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't make it. They're not even going to make it to call you. Right? Like, that's how I was
raised.
It's
respect.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, certain levels of
and
respect.
So when you look at this league, though, so for instance, we played the Lakers on, was it Christmas Day? Yeah, it had to be Christmas Day.
Yeah, it was Christmas. We was there.
And I got a text because Dalton Connect called me a little bitch.
Oh, that's not. See.
And I said, shut up. I got a tech. Now, mind you, the referee is standing on this side, looking straight at him, talk to me, and then I got a tech.
Listen, bro.
Which is insanity.
Bro.
And so then fast forward to the Grizzlies game. To start the play, I'm going for the rebound. I get shoved in the back by a rookie.
Yeah.
Then I foul hard, wrap him up. Like, don't let him. He outweighs me by 90 pounds and 9 inches. So I'm not fouling soft and giving up a layup. Like, and then I get a flagrant foul. So after you not call it on the rookie, then I get a tech. It's crazy. Like when I came in the league, you're a rookie. You don't get a call. Like, that's just not what's happening. Like, and referees would tell you, like, man, if you don't get out my face, you don't got no resume. Like, referees would say that to you. Like,
they used to say that all
the time. Who do you think you are? Like, why do you think I should call something for you?
Right.
Like, referees would say that. And so when people say something's wrong with the game, it's the same thing that's wrong a lot of times in the streets. The hierarchy is gone. So there's no respect to those that and what they went through before you. And in our league, that's 2 games in a row against rookies that against a champion, all-star, defensive player of the year, I get tech and flagrant fouls over a rookie.
Some BS.
So then they never have to earn nothing. So then because you never have to earn nothing, there's never any animosity. There's never any to grind. There's none of that. And so you get contracts off potential. You get respect off a draft position.
Yeah.
And they never have to earn anything. And so then you say, well, what's wrong with the game? You tell me what young guy is a rival to what young guy. I'll wait.
I'll wait.
You won't, and that's
no
going to
rivals.
continue. Yeah,
Bro,
and that's going to continue to be lost.
It ain't no rivals. It ain't no rivals. It ain't no beef. It ain't no you know what I mean? And I think that's what the league need. You know, even going back to the episodes of Coach from Boston, maybe we need a scrap. You know what I mean? Not like we really need a scrap, but we need that mentality is gone. The passion. You know what I mean? The intensity to no, we not giving up no layups. You know what I mean? None of this funny shit is going down. And, the B word is not even tolerated, bro. Listen,
it's crazy,
bro.
Right?
Hey, dog, you know KG, right? So KG, cold-blooded. KG a cold piece of work. We playing at Golden State. He playing for Minnesota. Somebody fouled KG. I forgot who fouled him. He said, I'm tired of all these B words. Yes. And he said it again. Now, back in our era, the referee couldn't even give KG the ball until he identified who is you talking to. he had 5 dudes. He was like, man, play ball. I was like, oh, bro.
Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to? Leave that ball and get that ball out of here. Delay game, all that. We need answers. But when you know KG, that's he trying to get under your skin. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, okay, that's his psych out. But that word is not even tolerated, especially from a rookie. You know what I mean? And
rookie.
Come on, yo.
A rookie. Hey, that
is just not the word.
How about this? I got an interesting one for you.
See you in the summertime.
I got an interesting one for you. I got word that came back to me that came from a reporter. That Zach Edey was told by a referee, hey, don't let him get in your head. Now, that's insane. Yeah. Don't let him get in your head. Bro, you might as well put a polo on and go sit on their bench.
That's weak.
At the rate that you're going to a player on another team and saying, hey, don't let him get in your head. Man, a rookie at that.
You might as well give him a bottle and start nursing.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that's going on in the NBA today. Yeah. And then in that same game, I get a text for saying boom on the 3.
Oh yeah, that was the next question. Right? How and when? When did you start saying boom? I like that though.
Hey, the boom. Hit him with the boom. Hey, you know what's crazy? So we kind of start saying it last year where I shoot the 3 and we hit him with the boom. And it's me, and then the whole bench joined in, and AV really lit the leader of the charge, Anthony Varane. He the leader of the consortium with me from the bench side, and we shoot. I shoot it. And they go boom. And so I say it on the court, and my thing to them is they all look. When I don't say it, they be hot. Yeah. They be like, "Yo, we booming over here. You ain't saying boom." I'm like, "All right, I got." So I'm running back. I hit the 3. Boom.
I like that. I like that.
Tech.
That's okay.
I get the tech for the boom in the same game that I get a flagrant foul for. And by the way, on the flagrant foul, I hit the ball. Right. On top of that, right? So again, these are just the things that's going on in the NBA. Yeah. And again, you wonder why the ratings are down.
That's a momentum killer. Nobody want to see that. You need that because
nobody want to see some young guy that ain't proven nothing get star treatment. They ain't nobody paying to see that. They ain't paid no dudes.
And they got superstars on their team.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Ja Morant don't even. If me and Ja was talking like that to each other, if I fouled Ja like that, he wouldn't get that type of treatment. But you got rookies getting that type of treatment.
That's wild.
Because referees, they probably feel like they've been beat up on a little too much over the years, and so they trying to I don't know, man. It's weird out here. It's weird. It's real weird out here. And
All
at
right,
some point,
man.
they just got to figure out what these people paying to see.
What's the
After a
product, man?
while,
What kind of intent? What's the intensity level? We need
you know
some
what I'm saying?
storylines, some backstories. It needs to
Ain't none of
be,
that.
it needs to be big brother beat up on little brother, and then little brother fight back and start punching, and then that's how you build a rivalry. But you cannot like they got and I do give a shout out to Memphis because they trying to earn their shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
However, tactics or whatnot. But Ja and them young dudes, they trying to earn their stripes. You know what I mean? And you got a lot of young OKC. They trying to earn their stripes. You know what I mean? Even like a Houston, they trying to earn their stripes, put their name out there. You know what I mean? Put themselves in position
They don't. Detroit Pistons coming. Them
Pistons
young
cracking.
fellas
Yep.
coming. Don't leave them
Pistons
Pistons
cracking.
out.
I wasn't even on the East. I was just thinking about, the West, but the Pistons is cracking.
Yeah.
You know what
Orlando.
I mean? Orlando cracking, Cleveland cracking, and like you got people like trying to make a name for themselves. And the history of the game is like somebody had to overcome.
Yes.
Tim Duncan and Shaq. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like Kobe and Tim Duncan. Like people had to overcome somebody, you know what I mean, from the superstar level, from the team superstar level. But like the shit wasn't easy. Yeah. And if you start watering this shit down, you know what I mean? And like there's no pecking, like the league is about pecking order.
It's all.
It's always been about pecking order. You know what I mean? Like it's always been about pecking order. Do I think I'm gonna get a call on GP or Jason Kidd? Hell no.
Chance you get that call.
Mean? But I'm not gonna stop fighting. You know what I mean? Exactly. I'm not gonna stop fighting. But like you can't take the fight. You can't take the fight out of the game when it's lesser value players get more attention than the superstars. What is the best Steph Curry trash talk you've heard from him or any teammate? And that's from Hunter Bumgarner 11.
I think the one where Steph was talking to Jaylen Brown when he hit the shot fake and he stepped through and hit the three at the buzzer and he started pointing. He took his mouthpiece out and he started pointing at him. What he was saying to Jaylen Brown right there, in that moment, crazy boy. Like what he was saying to Jaylen Brown in that moment was one of my favorite moments. I'll give you three of my favorite moments. That one was one of my favorite moments. When Clay hit the three on and Dylan Brooks fell over and Clay ran over to him and pointed in his face while he on the ground. I really enjoyed that moment. And KD just had all these slick one-liners, man, that KD will hit you with a crazy one-liner like out of nowhere. And I would enjoy those moments. And then from my rookie year, Kendrick Perkins was on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And, we're a young up-and-coming team. Not even up-and-coming. We just young. Steph, getting off the ankle surgeries. Clay had a decent end of a rookie year. We just young. And Jared Jackson on our team. So Kendrick Perkins, he had just won the championship a few years prior with Boston, got his contract in OKC. He feeling himself. He talking to our bench. And I'm a bark. I'm always bark, been barking. But, when you're a rookie, again, back to rookie, like, that ain't really carrying no weight. I'm barking. Right. You're going to hear me bark. But they like, man, shut up. Like, you ain't got no stripes. Right. Who are you? Like, just shut up. Like, but I'm going to always keep barking. That's just I am. But they ain't hearing none of that. So Jared Jack, being the vet that he is, being around this league, knows that y'all can keep talking. They ain't going to listen. Like, because y'all ain't done nothing, right? So Jack started barking. And Jack, if you know Jack don't get into it with many people. Jack ain't just
Jack
jumping in
is Mr.
something.
Smooth. Yeah, that's
Like
smooth. Too.
Jack only gonna come in at the point where it's like, hey man, enough. Like,
yeah,
that's when Jack gonna say something. And so Jack finally like, yo, bro, you keep talking over here. Like, play the game, man. And Kendrick Perkins start talking junk to Jack. Like, yeah. And he mentions his contract. I think at that time, Perk had just signed 4 for 32, if I'm not mistaken, which, again, at that time was big money, which, again, $8 million a year is still a lot of money. I'm not in real life, but I'm just talking about in terms of NBA salary. At the time, that's big money. I think at the time, the max salary is like 14, 15. Perk yells to the bench, like, yeah, something about his bag. Like, I got paid. And Jack going back at him, like, man, you ain't like that. Like, keep yelling over here. He's like, oh, I got paid. I made this money. And Jack was like, and people make mistakes every day. People make mistakes every single day. You trash, nigga. I really enjoyed that moment because it was one of them ones where, like, the OG was coming to our defense.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
he had your back.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. That was one of my favorite ones.
That's what's up. Shout out to my boy, Jared Jack.
This one, next question from Ground Cover Farm. Does Wemby have the capacity to change the game with the same impact as Steph?
Hell yeah. I mean, when I listen to you and how you talk about like defenses change for Steph, right? And like coverages and a whole different style, I look at Wemby and say like, yo, this dude is still a kid, right? And, he has every opportunity different than Steph coming in. You know what I mean? To like be a superstar from the get-go. And so Steph is iconic because he is self-made. He is a self-made superstar and a self-made, iconic, upper echelon player and a game changer. Wemby came in the game as a game changer. You know what I mean? And so I think from an impact perspective, you're not one, he's a rarity. You know what I mean? And so there could be, as it has already become, a trend of highly skilled big guys. You know what I mean? Like we seen Joker and was like, damn, dude, like a point center, that's crazy. Now you see a Wemby and it's like a 7'6" shooting guard. You know what I mean? And you saw KD and it was like, damn, a 7-foot shooting guard. You know what I mean? And so like this dude he got a little KD. You know what I mean? He learning how to be a little Giannis this year. You know what I mean? He's just looks like a sponge that's having the best time out there. You know what I mean? And he ain't afraid to go for the greatest, you know what I mean? The greatest title, you know what I mean? The greatest name. So that's my thought.
I think hell no. There's a 0% chance Wemby's impact can be the same or even remotely close to Steph. And here's why. Wemby is as special of a player as we've seen coming probably and possibly in the history of the NBA. And that's why he can't have an impact, because you just can't be 7'6" or 7'5" or whatever.
And be
however
relatable.
tall he is. Like, nobody's just going to be 7'6" and want to do what Wemby do. One of the reasons Steph has had such a large impact on the game that he had is because he looked like he everybody's size. And so
for sure.
because he looked like he everybody's size, everybody think I can be Steph.
I can do that. Yes.
Regardless of how athletic I am, I can learn to shoot the ball. And if I could shoot the lights out the ball and I can run all day, and I can work on my handle, I can be Steph. The reality is, where they failed to realize is, no, you can't. Because his shot is like God-given with a God-given work ethic that is topped by maybe two people ever. Like,
You know what I
so,
mean?
his ball handling, like Steph has an uncanny ability with his hands in general. Like we go bowling, he gonna bowl to something. Even if he ain't bowled in 5 years. If we go golf, y'all obviously all know he's great at that. If we go to the batting cages, he's gonna hit home runs. If we go to a ping pong tournament, he's gonna be at the final table. Like he has this uncanny ability with his hands and his hand-eye coordination, which is another thing. And so again, like, yes, you can practice these things. Once somebody wants to ask me, like, yo, why you don't shoot with the same arc as Steph? I said, what? Why you don't shoot with the same arc as Steph? So why would you ask me that? Like, do you think I wouldn't want to shoot with the same arc as Steph? Like, or do you think it's that simple to shoot with that type of arc every time you shoot the ball? Do you know what goes into a jump shot? Do you know how every part of your body got to be on one accord at the same time to get that rhythm every time? Do you know how hard it is to master a shot to where it looked the same every time? I said, so I don't even understand why you asked me that. Nonetheless, I said all of that to say, no. Like, so I just don't think, because people aren't going to see Wemby and be like, oh, I can be that. Like,
no, but no. But I got to challenge you on this because Wemby comes from the Steph tree, right? So shooting threes,
yeah,
right?
For
handle. Sure. And what makes him different is he's the actual first player you've ever seen in your life that was created on 2K.
You we thought KD, and then they came with
Wemby. Right? So, like the kids is like charging up their 2K characters to be set. Like this was stuff we would do when we would do our My Player. Oh yeah, I want my dude 7'6" with a handle, could dunk, block shots, and now it's like, oh shit, it's a real like 2K My Player, like in the NBA. You feel what I'm saying?
Listen, I can agree with that, BD.
And so tracking his stats because of this era. This era is based on, stats and analytics and his pace. He's on pace to transcend a lot of categories from if he stays healthy and have the longevity and, the career and if they can build around him. But individually from like getting out the blocks, like, bro, he on pace to like be a game changer.
I think all of that is, I think I agree with all of that. And all of those things are true. But like right now, he counted the center, but he counted the two. And I just think like, even if you look at KD's game, KD, when KD came into the league, KD was a 2. He was a shooting guard when he came into the league in Seattle. He was the starting shooting guard. As KD career went on, he became a 3, then he became a 4. And nobody gonna want to admit it, but KD had his most dominant and most successful years at the 3 and 4, right? And it's not a knock to KD that he had his most successful years at the 3 and 4. What happened was it allowed everybody else to form their roles once he moved to those positions. And with Wemby, where Wemby is going to, where I don't think is going to happen is, how long can he play that way and not win at a high level? Like, and not, they're winning more this year, but in order to win at a high level, meaning in the playoffs, as you know, you need everybody to be clicking on all cylinders. Like, you need everybody to be filling their role when you're trying to win at a high level. And so for Wemby, I think at some point he's going to have to learn when to move out of the way. And I can't just trail into this 3, or I can't just come down. Like right now, Wemby's also, and no one really talks about this, Wemby's benefiting right now off of his naiveness. You know,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's benefiting off of not knowing how to play basketball right now and just playing off of sure talent and sure ability. Right now, that's cool because he in year 2. No one's accepting that in year 6. And so then you're in year 6.
Yeah, but
no one's accepting you doing that in year 6.
He got 4 years to look
that's
what
fine.
he doing.
So it's just going to be
look what he doing in year 2.
That's fine, but it's just going to be him putting up great numbers.
Next year he gonna put up even better numbers,
and that's fine. Next year, but if they don't win, then it's going to become. But this is what it is, though, BD. If they don't win, because everybody else can't really fill their roles the way them roles need to be filled, and they don't win, then people are going to start attacking you for doing that. And then it's an issue that you're doing that. And a whole other thing comes with it. It ain't just like, oh, you just get to play as long as you can and figure it out. No, that pressure starts to mount. You supposed to be that dude. Oh, you ain't won it yet. Oh, now you trying to figure that out. So then it becomes less about, oh my God, look how he just came across half court. And in his mind, it's going to become, so I have to do what I got to do to win. And that may mean I need to slide to this block a little more. I just don't see it happening.
I do. Here's my.
He's gonna be as special as they come, but I don't.
Here's my thesis around this. I got Wemby on my team. I better hurry up and figure out a role if I want to stay around.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
They're gonna be saying the opposite.
Yeah, he got a league, but it's also it take a team. So, but somebody else got to step up. Right. And somebody or they got to go build a team around him to build winners and build a winning system. Because San Antonio got to win an ecosystem. They got to go those dudes in San Antonio right now. Like the problem with Wemby is he don't have a Ja Morant type of personality. You know what I mean? And he
got Chris Paul.
Yeah, but Chris Paul is not a young dude that's ready to bark up your chest. You know what I mean? Like San Antonio, they ain't barking at y'all. They just out there playing basketball.
But San Antonio never gonna be that, and they not gonna bring in a guy that's like that. That's not their culture.
San Antonio was cocky, arrogant. You know what I mean? They played
but it was
tough.
Quiet arrogance though. They weren't just barking up the chimney. Like,
no, they never talked.
They never running up the chimney. They wasn't on that.
But they had a championship pedigree.
Yeah, arrogance.
You feel what I'm
championship
saying?
Arrogance about them for sure.
Yeah, like y'all not gonna beat us. Y'all not smart enough. You know what I mean? Like, haha, y'all winning right now. We gonna walk y'all down. They had all of that ism.
1,000%.
Right? Or Detroit Pistons, or like what these young dudes now, they got like a little fight. Like, hold on, Draymond, you ain't gonna punk us. You feel what I'm saying? What I'm saying for San Antonio is they don't have no young dudes yet that I seen, not even Wemby, you know what I mean? Or somebody to ride with Wemby to be like, hold on, bro, like we barking up y'all tree too. We on our way back. You know what I mean? And so right now it's just like, okay, we showcasing talent to your point. But I think for him, because he's so naive and he's watching everybody, bro. You know what I mean? He's a sponge of the game. He's going to push himself to win. That's the only way that he's going to exist as a phenomenon. And I think he actually has the personality and the game to want that. You feel what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so but they got to get some dogs around them, and they got to start standing up for themselves. Because if you're relying on Chris Paul to do that, like Chris Paul is supposed to be the dude that calm y'all down and make sure y'all playing basketball. Y'all should be doing everything else, you know what I mean? And just playing off of sheer force, sheer energy, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like trying to be somebody, everybody trying to claim a name as something, and not going off a highlight or a good game or some shit like that. You feel what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I feel it. And you can see that they don't have that. You know why?
They don't.
Because Russ is standing there doing Wemby like this.
Yeah.
Hey, Russ a wild dude. He's sitting there.
Right.
He said, hey, don't touch my hair. Russ say, what you gonna do?
Man, come on, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, right. And then, it's like ain't a vet over there. Yeah. And You know what I mean? Like Chris Paul can tell him, hey, Chris Paul gonna give him the ism, hey, bro, don't ever let nobody son you like that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
For
I don't
sure.
give a shit. So he got to develop a meanness,
Yes.
right? He's got to be mean. Right now, he's just talent, having fun, naive. But soon as it click and it's like, oh, I got to be a cold assassin, a killer. I got to be thinking about every aspect of the game. So then I'm the show, not just like, oh, I'm going to the guard. I'm gonna put up 40, and if we win, we win. If we don't, it's like, nah, you got to go now become. I mean, Giannis did it. You know
Yes,
what I
he did.
mean?
Yes, he
Giannis
did.
did it, and I think this kid got talent too to do it. And I
JT
also,
did it.
yeah,
JT did it. Where he came in, he was young, talented, battled with Bron in the conference finals, right? But like, didn't quite have it. Couldn't get over the hump.
yeah,
Couple more times, couldn't get over Jimmy Butler, right? Then he played
yep,
us, couldn't get over the hump.
yep,
He
yep.
developed that,
But
right?
he
Like
he
you have to
did.
develop
Yeah, you
that.
have to.
You
You
have
have
to.
to. You
Yeah.
have to. You like, and for him, he as a young dude, he had a lot of success early.
Yes, he
So
did.
like to keep, you know what I mean? He keep knocking at the door. He may not be saying them, but like now when you look at him, you know what I mean? It's like there's some fire there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because he wanted so bad, bro. He wanted so bad, and now they won a championship. He know what that feel like. It's a different level to his game this year, where you like,
Yeah.
I'm a finisher, I'm a
Yeah.
closer. You know what I mean? Like now they starting to sync up, and so I think Wemby, he is sponge. He got, you know what I mean? He
Yes,
got
he
to
is.
absorb that.
Yes, he
And
is.
so he can be the personality that the San Antonio Spurs never was. You know
Yes,
what I
I
mean? So
agree.
he has the freedom to do that,
Yes.
right? And with a little bit of meanness with his personality, takes San Antonio, and now it's like, okay, now it's a wild wild west, and Wemby is whatever nickname people gonna give him that don't sound like Wemby. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, for sure. I listen, I agree with you 100%. I think Wemby does have that level of talent. I think he has that aura around him that people can, feed off of, and that can become a larger than life personality, which he already is larger than life. I think he has all of that. I just go back to the original question of can he change the game like Steph? And I still stand by my answer. The reason I think no is because in order for him to eventually win, he's not going to be able to play as random. And then you just become, if you're not able to play as random as he is right now, you become one of the most special players we've ever seen. But as far as changing the game, we can't change to be Wemby. Like we
No,
can't.
but he can change the game as far as, all right, ain't gonna be no little dudes running around here shooting threes. You're gonna have to stock up on some 7-footers. Like he could, if he developed that trait, you stock up on 7-footers. Now people are drafting different because they like, well, shit, we got 6 fouls and Wemby fouling people. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
fouling people out. He playing in the block.
In order for him to do that, though, he's gonna have to get put on more weight because right now, like for instance, Russ was guarding him in that game, and it's no knock to Wemby. It's just that Russ gonna get underneath you. He's gonna get physical. He's stronger
he
than
gotta
you already for
learn, bro.
sure. And so
He
he
gotta
like,
learn.
but no. But what I'm saying is, in order to do what you're saying, also, he's gonna have to get way stronger because
For
if
sure.
you're saying that he's gonna make you have to go draft more 7-footers that can shoot, that's not necessarily going to be the case if you can guard him with a 6'6" guy because they're going to try to be physical and get underneath him. You see what I'm saying? So
right,
got to get stronger so that you then have to put a 7-footer on me because the 6-foot guy can't do nothing. So it now has to be a 7-footer. And the only way he can match me is if he can shoot the 3-ball as well. Then that starts to take form, but it's just a lot of things that got to happen.
I give you
before
that post. I give you a whole little post package. You'll never have to worry about a little dude standing you up in the post, man. Call 1-800 Bart Oatmeal. I got you, man. You know what I mean? That's all he need. Once he learn how to take it, like he don't even know he's 7'6", bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he don't know he's 7'6" in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's just talented. He's young.
Just playing.
He's enthusiastic. But once he start figuring out, wait, hold on, bro. I'm this close to the basket. I ain't even got to jump. I'm blocking everything, getting every rebound, every putback. Okay, this is how I'm going to get my 40, 20, and 12.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
And then I'm going to shoot my threes and all that to show like, okay, this is out of flow. But, man, I'm going to lead when he decides he wants to lead the league in points in the paint, I think he can do it.
Well, it's the most wonderful time of the year for getting in on all the basketball, football, hockey action at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's the season of giving, so we're being gifted college football and basketball, pro football, basketball, pro hockey to almost 24/7. It's an absolutely great time of the year. So a lot of games every day, so many opportunities to place your first bet. Now, if you're going to bet for the first time, just make it simple. Pick a team to win, any team. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook. They have an app. Download it in 90 seconds. Here's the gift for all new customers. Bet $5, just $5. If your bet wins, you get $150 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The code is Colin, C-O-L-I-N. New customers, $150 in bonus bets if you bet $5 and it wins. Happy holidays from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
But moving around the league, we got Julian I for 37.92. What do you think about the 7-game suspension to Jimmy Butler, and why do you think they did that?
I'm kind of on the fence with it. You know what I mean? Like, for one, it's like, man, somebody, I've been in that situation before where it's like, man, I don't want to be here. Y'all don't really want me here. You know what I mean? And like, man, just gonna put me out my misery and trade me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I can understand why the Heat did it. You know what I mean? And look, man, everybody, they didn't tip the iceberg. You know what I mean? Like Jimmy won out, and even though the Heat may or may not want to trade him or whatnot, like this dude ain't about to help you get to where you want to get to unhappy. You know what I mean? Like, to me, he he hella emotional. You know what I mean? And like that's his gift and his curse. You know what I mean? And so when you got a guy like that who play on his emotions and his attitude and his confidence and everything that he's built himself and his essential character on is really based off, his emotional presence. His dog is like, you know what I mean? Like he got heart. Like and so somebody who play with his heart on his sleeve, if his heart is hurt or bruised or anything, his feelings hurt, like you gonna get 25% of him because he can't get past the heartache.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think, him and the Miami Heat, they in a heartbreak moment. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, shit, you may have to suspend him because, like you about to get 7 games of him going through, all the emotions that he going through, being somewhere he don't want to be. You know what I mean? With some people, with the way that they handling it too, is really like, all right, you can leave too. You know what I mean? It's like, well, if I can leave, like, let me go. And so, it kind of feel like, with Jimmy and his like emotional, like how he is as an emotional player, you ain't gonna be able to get no wins, with him not being all the way locked in and playing with his full, freedom and capability, and you know what I mean, and his confidence and all that. Like that kind of happened to me, Dre, when I was in New Orleans. Different situation because I was hurt. Byron Scott that came in, new coach. And like I remember me and Byron Scott, it wasn't me and Byron Scott that really didn't hit it off. I had problems with management because my back was hurt. I needed rehab. They thought I was a prima donna. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, I can't survive a Byron Scott practice. If you know what I mean, I ain't all the way right. And then I get on the court and I ain't who I'm supposed to be. And you know what I mean? You going through all this. And at the same time, that's when I got traded from New Orleans to Golden State. It was like, yo, I remember Allen Bristow. It was even a moment where, he kind of like ran up on me. You know what I mean? He came from the stands, ran up on me like, man, who you think you are? I said, bro, take one more step. Freeze.
Who is Allen Briscoe?
He old school buster. You know what I mean? One of them old school busters. But he was the GM and he come running, Byron, we have practice. I kind of practice late because I'm in rehab. And then in New Orleans, like the rehab, like an hour away. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I come running down. Man, I thought I told you prima donna. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, hey, freeze. Don't take one more step, homie. And then Byron Scott was like, what's going on? I said, okay, I'm out. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna have to trade me. And I never forget, it was the trade deadline. And I said peace to all the people in the facility, you know what I mean, trainers. And I sat outside that man's office and he came out and he said, well, it's the trade deadline. Look like you're going to be here for the year. I said, man, if you don't take your ass back out here and trade me, I'm not fucking around. I'm going to sit right here till you tell me. I don't care which team at this point. You know what I mean? And that's how I got traded to Golden State. But I can understand, like, when you're at a breaking point and it's like, I need to go because now my feelings is hurt. Y'all feelings is hurt. Y'all got a misperception. You know what I mean? Like, the relationship with the coach ain't even off to the right foot in the foundation. And now, with Jimmy being there, that's a whole different situation, right? Because he been to the top with these dudes. And so, like, when you feel like you're not appreciated, you know what I mean? Or you feel like you've been pushed out, or you feel like you've been, pointed out as like you the scapegoat, like it's hard to play, and I think they just at the end of their rope.
No, for sure. I think they definitely are at the end of the rope. I've actually been hearing for the last couple of years that they were kind of tired of Jimmy. Jimmy was kind of tired of them. I think Jimmy was kind of a little more so enjoying just living in Miami and not I'm not one of those media people that make up stories. I'm not saying enjoying living in Miami like Jimmy's a partier. Jimmy don't go out. So I'm not saying that. I'm just like, but living in Miami is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And so I think he just enjoyed more so his life and what comes with him being the face of the Miami Heat. Again, Jimmy's a very serious guy, takes his craft very serious, works his ass off. So I don't want this to come off the wrong way. I just think, like, he had a good thing there where he's going to NBA Finals. He's the man in Miami. And I think all of those things made what he was going through bearable. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I think it's just reached a point now where you like, what do I have left? 3 more years, maybe? I'm going to live in Miami for the rest of my life after 3 years anyway. So I think you start to get to that point where Jimmy, competitive as they come, wants to win a championship. And so the actual 7-game suspension, I think my question about it would be, why 7? Like, why not 5? What was the significance with it being 7?
Right, why so long?
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that to me. But I mean, outside of it just being like, why 7? Like, why so random? I think my only thing is looking at what I believe the outcome is going to be. And what I believe the outcome is going to be, everybody's like, oh man, Jimmy's going here, Jimmy's going there. I think one of two things are going to happen. It's just my opinion. I think Pat Riley is Pat Riley. Like, and y'all have all heard the stories of who Pat Riley is and how Pat Riley is, just like I have. I can see 2 things happening. I can see Pat Riley sending Jimmy Butler to a team, an organization that he'd absolutely hate, that's garbage. I could also see Pat Riley saying, hey, go home for the rest of the year. Just go home. We'll pay you. It's fine. Go home. We're not trading you anywhere. And I could see that scenario as well. Um, but the scenario that I don't see it just playing out in Jimmy back in good graces with them and Jimmy being who Jimmy is. I don't see that. I think it's too far past gone. When stuff start getting to the media, when stuff start getting public, it's no longer in your control anyway. It is completely taken over by public opinion, and it's just hard to make it work. So I think they reached the end of the road.
And if you see how he was playing, you know what I mean? It's almost like I can't even have that energy around where we are.
And I didn't see the games.
You know what I mean?
Like you playing on the West, you don't see many Eastern Conference games. So I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, it's just almost like you can't stake nothing in that. You know what I mean? Like you can't put no eggs in that basket because you don't just throw the basket. You feel what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Like you can see it, you can feel it. And I feel like if I was a Heat fan, you know what I mean? It's just there's too much intensity around it. And I understand, I can understand that. Because even when I used to go sit on the bench at the games when I was hurt in New Orleans, and then Dickow was the point guard, man, I used to hear people yelling at me like, he's better than him anyway. Yeah, okay. But the fans start developing a disdain because of the media, because of the imprint, and now you're like, hold on, man, like I can be done with this. You know what I mean? Let me go somewhere, anywhere. And I do agree with you. I do think that if I'm Miami, why would I send him to a contender? I'm sending him somewhere where I can go get me some pieces, rebuild. I think that's what's on Pat Riley mind. You know what I mean? Pistons are 500 for the month of January for the first time since 2018.
That's crazy.
I just watched the Pistons game 5 against the Lakers championship game. I was watching Ben Wallace. He was going off. Shout out to my Pistons, bro. How does it feel? You know what I mean? I know you got some sentimental value for your Pistons, your homegrown boys. How you feel about, what they building?
I think what they're doing is great. They got some young pieces. I think they got one in Cade Cunningham. They have salary cap space. They got draft picks. They got everything you need to head in the right direction. Trajan Langdon as the general manager. It's on him. It's on him to get it right. Like you got everything in front of you that you need. And I think, JB was a great hire. He's getting the best out of them young guys. They got young, hungry guys that want to compete, which I love. I think, wish Jaden Ivey a speedy recovery. Sucks to see him go down.
Yeah, I know.
He was kind of having a breakout year, you know what I'm saying, becoming the player that everybody thought he'd become out of Notre Dame. So I think the league is always better when you have the teams that's been at the bottom starting to rise up. And the way the Pistons been playing, like, for years you look at the Pistons and you're like, oh, this is an easy game. They don't play hard. They are trash, blah, blah, blah. Not anymore.
Different.
Like you looking at them now like, they coming in and they are competing at an elite level. And so it's good to see those guys playing the way they playing. Like I said, you possibly got one of them ones in a young Cade Cunningham. You start seeing those young stars being built night by night in the NBA, and I think Cade can be one of those guys. And so really good to see. It's great to see young Thompson back. I get the Thompson twins mixed up. I think it's A-Man that's in I think A-Man is in Houston, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be absolutely wrong. But to see the Thompson twin back out there after what he was going through medically and seeing him back defensively being an animal and catching lobs. I think the Pistons headed in the right direction, man, and it's fun to watch. I enjoy seeing it, and they're young, so they got a full runway ahead of them to go do it. And like I said, it's on Trajan Langdon to get it done, to make sure they got the pieces to continue to build and put those pieces in place. not get overzealous and think you are ahead of where you are too soon and make a bad move that sets you back.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. I, when I look at the Pistons, I see a big culture change,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's good to see Detroit Pistons playing. And shout out to my boy Kay Cunningham, because last year, like, they won a couple close games. They lost a lot of close games. They lost a lot of games that they could have won,
Yeah,
should have
they
won.
did.
And I think, when we talk about Wemby, when we talk about the evolution of somebody becoming an all-star, I look at Kay Cunningham and like, yo, man, that dude is an all-star having an all-star year. He
Yes,
may
he
not
is.
get it this year, but definitely next year. But I want to see somebody like that in the All-Star, because now he's starting to become a finisher.
Yes, he
You know what I
is.
mean? And like with these young dudes, they're learning how to finish games, and he's leading them. You know what I
Yes, he
mean? He
is.
hitting the big shots. He's
He
stepping
making the
up to the plate.
pass. He
Yeah,
doing
he
all
doing
of
it
it.
all. He
Yeah.
doing all of it. So it's good to see Detroit as a brand, because we love Detroit. We love all the legends that come, from the city, from around, just the Michigan area. But the Pistons being back in the league, you know what I mean, and being somebody that's a force, we want to see what that evolution look like. I'm
Yeah.
excited about that. Do you think OKC versus the Cavs is an NBA Finals preview?
I think it's a possible NBA Finals preview. Two teams playing great basketball, growing and coming into their own, young talent, young guard talent. Both teams got some good bigs. Obviously, OKC shorthanded without Chet, but I think both teams got a lot of depth. Kind of the contrast in two different styles, though. With OKC, the ball sticks a little more. You got to guard your man. Um, Cleveland, that ball is humming. Man, they
Yeah.
moving that ball. You turn your head, the ball going the other way. Whip, whip, three. And so it's the contrast of two different styles. Reminds me a bit of the up and coming Golden State Warriors trying to make their name with a young core.
Mhm.
And OKC reminds me of Houston, even Cleveland, but not as much Cleveland, more Houston. But what I mean by that is you got one guy controlling everything. And if you think about those James Harden-led Houston teams,
Yeah.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, one guy controlling everything. Obviously, you got other guys getting off. Bron, one guy controlling everything. And then obviously you had Kyrie doing what Kyrie does, Jalen Williams. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I see the similarities in these teams and kind of those teams when we were coming through and the real heyday. And I think it's beautiful to watch. But I think for Cleveland, where they're going to have to take that next step. And I think they've done a good job of it with the system that they've built. With Kenny Atkinson coming in and the system they've built, Donovan Mitchell has historically struggled in the playoffs. And so with Cleveland, with Donovan being your go-to guy, Shea gonna get his. He's shown you that. Donovan has historically struggled in the playoff, and I think they have to be aware of that and already be ahead of time trying to figure out what we need to put in place to combat that if he struggles again, because
Yes.
that can hinder their chance at being one of those teams in this finals. And that can hinder their chance of being a
It
team that's a part of an NBA Finals preview.
it is very hard for a guard and a
Yes.
guard-led team to get you all the way where you need with no type of 3, 4, you know what I mean,
Yep.
potent presence.
Yep.
That's what I would say. Now, there are exceptions to the rules because you have exceptional guards. You think Steph Clay, but you also have the balance of Harrison Barnes, Iguodala, Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut, David. What you know what I mean? So you're
Mm-hmm.
still stapled. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean, in the interior, and so I would say on the Cleveland side, Darius Garland, um, my boy Donovan Mitchell, they have the talent to do it. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
What they need and where I think is going to be critical for them is Evan Mobley has to
Yep.
really become 20 and 10. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He got to really become 20 and 10, and they got to really use him as somebody who is close to the basket, can get fouls, create fouls, right? Because it's just put a lot down the stretch, and then the playoffs is gonna put a lot of pressure on Donovan Mitchell to get to the
100%.
hole, to shoot jumpers. Darius Garland get to the hole, shoot jumpers,
Mhm.
make plays. The playoffs, like that floor is shrink. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
And I think advantage to OKC because the shrink floor just means you got to play some one-on-one
Yeah, absolutely.
defense. And now you
Absolutely.
got to deal with a dude who just can't be stopped. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And no matter how tight the space, OKC, I think, that third factor is going to be, how Chet, you know what I mean, integrates himself into that system because they got a lot of talent.
Yes.
Right. They got a lot of dudes who can do a lot of things. Hartenstein is solid. They got,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like they're investing in size. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But they're gonna need Chet to step up. They're gonna need Jalen Williams to play
Mhm.
that,
He struggled
that
last playoffs too.
yeah,
So it'll
it
be a
gotta
big step
be
for J-Dub as
yeah.
well.
You need that Batman Robin. You
Mhm.
need that, you know what I mean? You need those two, superpowers, but they gotta get through that West. You know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean? And so, okay, Cleveland has the matchup capabilities for any team in the East. OKC, they can fuck around and get the wrong matchup.
Yes,
And
they can.
now that first round,
It'd
you
be
know
a
what I mean?
little
You
more
get
difficult than you
yeah, yeah,
appreciate.
you getting tackled, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes a little bit harder for them to like get from one round and like,
Mhm.
the fight gotta come from, now these talented kids, you got Dort, you know what I mean? Wiggins, Isaiah, like one of these dudes gonna have to become somebody, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, for them outside of Shea.
Yep. No, that's a fact. And the reality is the fight on the way can sometimes cost you.
Yeah,
Because a tough fight along the way,
it
you
take a
may
lot.
you may win the battle,
Yep.
but over the course of time, it may cost you the war. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so that's definitely something you always have to be leery in the Western Conference because it's just a little different.
And inexperience clipped him last year.
Yes, it did.
Right. And like
Yes, it did.
and then I also would say inexperience clipped them, made them hungry, but they didn't get the experience that
Yes.
they needed to like have that next level of getting over the hump. So
Mhm.
now they got to go through new familiar terrain, for
Mhm.
unfamiliar terrain, if they're going on a quest to the finals, right? Because
1000%.
like we ain't did this round, so we didn't beat Dallas.
Mhm.
You have to watch, right? You know what I
Yep.
mean? And you have to watch Dallas go to the finals, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, like, yeah, you got that, but like, you didn't win that series,
You
right?
didn't.
So you don't know what that next round felt like. The next round felt like. So you're fighting also against unfamiliar territory and new terrain. So, a little
That's a fact.
different from OKC.
That's a fact. And what I will say is, I always talk about it, the know-how.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest things. Like Boston ain't tripping on none of these games. You know why? Because what they know is we know how to do it. Like,
Yep.
so just
Mhm.
get us there. We know how to do it. The
Yep.
know-how. Like, I'm telling you, the
Uh-huh.
know-how is why we beat Boston in 2022.
Yeah.
We just knew how to do it.
You've been there
And
before.
yes, and you're right. These teams, they don't know how to do it. And sometimes you run up against a team and you're like, you know what? They just knew how to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's what both of these teams got to look out for.
No, I agree.
Our next one, Bogdan dot Paraschiv. Paraschiv. What is the hardest part of being an NBA player that fans don't understand?
The hardest part about being an NBA player is you play a game you love, and winning the championship is the hardest thing you can do, right? And people don't understand that. My son damn sure don't understand that. But also, I don't think fans really understand how much hard work it takes to come back from injuries.
Yeah.
As a player who like came into the league injured, by the way, coming off of like an ACL, you know what I mean? It's just like you are just never ever 100%. You're only like 100% of like the 70% capacity that you can play at that year. You're
Mhm.
only 100% of that. Like if you can get back to 80, right? You just are never once you got the knee surgery, and it's just hard to get back to where you were gonna go, right?
Mhm.
And so there's just like a health plateau, right? And so I just don't think fans understand because when you like even a Kawhi, right? You look at somebody like Kawhi and like fans just got the wrong fucking perspective of like somebody who bust their ass to get back, get on the court and kill. And you think this dude don't want to be on the court? 55, 43, and 90? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, I want to be over here in street clothes. Like
That don't even make sense.
every NBA player wants to play. And like I actually like it now, man, because y'all got people around y'all that care about your longevity. Back when
Mhm.
we played, like it was just like, oh, you can play, you gotta play.
Get
Like
out there.
every
Ice and
win
stem.
was a needed win, ice and stem, and you know what I mean? Like, do not get on that training table if you don't need to be there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And then you get to, like I would say early in y'all career where, you know, you could hang out on the training table, but like dudes was just hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we didn't know how to it wasn't longevity training. It was always just getting you right for the next game.
Yeah.
Getting you right for the next game. And so I don't think fans really know and understand how hard it is to like be injured, come back, play an entire season, like you just never become 100%. You know what I mean? You just
Mhm.
like fighting, mental battles, physical battles, and just I just think a lot of times they just, in a selfish way, they want to see players play all the time, but a lot of times it's just like, man, you have no idea how hard it is to play hurt or to be
Yeah.
hurt and can't play.
We as athletes are master compensators. It's
Yeah,
just what we are. You learn like, this thing is hurting. I'm gonna compensate on this thing to take the
yeah,
pressure off that. Like that's just what it is. I think one of the hardest things for me is to do something at such an elite level. Um and have the whole world that knows 7% of what you know,
yeah,
trying to tell you what that should look like, how it should look, how it should be done. Like it's blasphemous.
right.
And then like you can't really say much back.
Hmm.
You're censored in what you can say back. I'd say for me, I think that's one of the toughest parts. Just like being at such an elite level, but playing something that everybody and their mom think they know because they played on their elementary school basketball team and learned that if you dribble with two hands, that was called a double dribble. And they think that this thing that we do is the same thing that they did.
Yeah,
And I'm just here to tell you, it's not even remotely close.
not
Like,
even.
and just enjoy the game.
I
That's what
like
it is
that.
for me.
I like that. Derrick Rose night just passed. Uh Derrick Rose, man. Shout out to D Rose, one of the greatest. Just got announced that he getting his jersey retired. We I think it's like 1/4/25 is the date. Man, I mean, Man, just shout out to Derrick Rose. Shout out to
Absolutely.
damn, bro. Like,
wow.
fuck, just shout out to Derrick Rose. He is just so cold. You know what I mean? Like,
what?
Oh my gosh, this dude is he was amazing. You know what I mean? He was amazing. I didn't get a chance to play against him as much as I wanted to, but I did catch him when I was like, okay, I'm that guy. You know what I mean? I'm that guy, dog. And I never forget down the stretch of the game, like that fool was posting me up. They was throwing it to him on the block, bro. And he got two. Hey, Dre, he got 2 buckets on me. And I looked at him. I said, bro, who are you?
That's crazy.
And they was going, hey, bro, they was
different.
and I done been on the, on the ISO guarding T-Mac, guarding Kobe down the stretch, Iverson. You know what I mean? But like, I ain't never really had nobody clear out and post me on the short corner, and it's a guard. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, and he jumped over me and shot a jump hook, turned around, shot a bank shot fade. I was like, bro, who are you? After the game, I was like, yo, bro, I'm a fan. I was like, I'm a fan. I know who you are now, bro. I didn't know. I didn't know you was that nice. I followed you in Memphis. You know what I mean? Like, damn, bro, I did not know you was this nice. Shout out to D Rose and shout out to like his next venture. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, what
absolutely.
What are you gonna be doing next in life? Like his platform. The way he telling his side of the story and projecting his story is just giving me an opportunity to learn more about him and grow more about him, just as a fan. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
His game and a fan of his. So, man, shit, I couldn't guard him.
Listen, man, D Rose. Wow, what an incredible player, man! I had my first opportunity to see D Rose play up close and personal. Was at Big Time in Vegas, and D Rose and Eric Gordon was playing on the same team. They was playing for Mean Streets. And they was playing the D1 Greyhounds, Bill Walker and OJ Mayo. Somehow I got into that capacity field game. At capacity, standing room, not only, ain't no standing room either. And watching them put on a show was one of the most incredible games I ever seen in my life. And then I had my first opportunity to really play against D Rose. Like when I came into the league, I think D Rose got hurt in 2011 or 12. So right when I came into the league, he got hurt. And then if you remember, in 2014, I want to say it was, there was a world championship team. And D Rose hadn't really played for the Bulls yet. He came back. And he came back, his return was with USA Basketball on the world championship team. And I was on the select team, coming to practice against those guys, get them ready, which was an honor for me because I'm on the select team. I was geek, man. And like, D Rose came down full speed at me. I come up to try to stop him at the free throw line. He hit me with a crazy, I shift all the way the other way. He up and under that thing, layup. I was like, oh my God. Like it was just like that. And again, he was coming off injury. So I can only imagine what that crossover and what that up and under looked like 2.5 years prior to that. But completely left me in the dust. And I was just like, yo, that's crazy to see that type of athleticism up close. But just a big fan of D Rose, man, how he carried the city of Chicago. That's Chicago's heartbeat right there. That's Chicago's son right there.
Come on, bro.
And to go to Chicago, to get drafted, number one pick, and actually live up to it and become the MVP in your city.
That's sick.
With the Bulls you grew up a fan of. And to actually do that, and then to accept with grace when it came to an end. He accepted it with nothing but complete grace that the team that he won MVP on, that the city that he's the heartbeat of was, and take this with a grain of salt. The city never moved on from him. Pooh is Pooh, and that is his city. But when that city, and that organization said, you know what? It's time we move on. We trading you. Man, that man handled it with such grace, continued to bounce back, even
He's
had a
fighter,
50 ball
bro.
after that. You know, like,
He a fighter, bro.
to just see how he handled all of that, man.
Yeah,
like,
he's a
shout out to D Rose, man.
Legend for life, man.
Absolutely.
Hall of Famer, all that shit, man. That's come on, man. He one of them ones.
And by the way, the questions on is D Rose a Hall of Famer? If he not, if you win MVP in the NBA,
you're a Hall of Famer.
You're a Hall of Famer. Moving on. I don't care if you play 1 year. If you play 1 year in the NBA and you win MVP of the NBA,
Hall of Famer, bro.
You're moving on. It's Derrick Rose a Hall of Famer. Stop it. It's ridiculous.
Stop playing. He one of them ones.
Moving on. All right. We're gonna take a few random questions before we get out of here. First one, I'll start. Sloth is Legend. If you guys were a pro wrestling tag team, what would your name be and what's your walkout song?
It'll be Atomic Dog, and we would be called the Dog Pound.
I rock with that. Say no more. Case closed. Case closed. Next one from Sweet.J11. Starting from 2000s to now. With the two of you, what's the most lethal starting five? So us two in the lineup, and then you add your five. You add your three.
Oh, okay. I would have to say, Shaq.
Of course. Number one, Shaq. No question.
Kobe.
Okay.
Gotta have Shaq, gotta have Kobe. And then in the 2000s, I'd say Dirk.
I like that. Well, listen here. I'm going to go because reading is fundamental, and we read at Michigan State. It say from the 2000s to now. So I'm going big D's.
Now.
Yeah, see, reading is fundamental.
My fault.
Yeah, reading is very fundamental.
You got to read it to me right.
I read it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the question.
You're right. You're right. I read it. So I got another one for you. Another ism for you that Izzo gave us, which is learn to listen, listen to learn. Goddamn. So reading is fundamental, and you need to learn to listen and listen to learn. So since I know that reading is fundamental, 2000s to now, I'm going BD, Steph, myself,
I'm fucking with that.
KD, and D's.
I'm
going with the big Diesel for sure, no question asked. Best center to ever grace the NBA floor, no questions asked.
I'm fucking with that. I'm fucking with that lineup for sure. That's a championship for sure.
We got dog, we got scoring, we got size, we got defense. Man, come on.
Playmaking, come on, man. Can we relive that?
You know
all right, man. Speaking of the 2000s, bro. Speaking of the 2000s, what you think about that new Gelo song?
I'm gonna be honest with you, BD. I may be the only person in the walk of life that I live in that I have not heard the song.
Oh my God, what?
I haven't heard the song. Is it really good, or are y'all just like laughing at him, but kind of laughing with him, but laughing at him?
No, it's hard. The reason why I like it is like he brought back a 2000 vibe, right? So like, it ain't like
Big Thomas vibe?
Yeah, hey, bro, I'm telling you. You gonna
Big time is no limit,
hey,
like 2000.
Hey, bro, you gonna be like, yo, I remember this song when I was growing up. That's how it gets you right. Like, it not. You know what I mean? But he didn't come out trying to do drill rap. He didn't come out trying to rap like Lil Baby or what everybody else rap. Like, I think this is kind of like showing like, man, my shit different. My shit hidden and is knocking, like his little hook, you know what I mean? I'm a swerve on the pedestal.
So Gelo ain't, so LeVar was right. Gelo ain't necessarily make it in basketball, but you saying he about to make it as a rapper. So
Bro,
LeVar was right all along.
He got the #1 YouTube song right now. I got dudes calling me like, yo, man, you know, Gelo, I'm trying to book him for a show. I'm trying to book him for
Really?
real
Good for
shit.
him. All right, 1 second. Charles just sent the link. I'm about to listen. Y'all give me a second.
It's like when you be like, yo, man, my cousin rap. And people be like, oh, that fool don't rap. And then he come with some shit like that at the family reunion. It's like, okay, this smacking.
Whoa. Hey, that's knocking. I ain't gonna even lie.
Hey, bro, watch you. I'm telling you.
LeVar definitely had him listening to some big timers coming up.
He had to. That shit go. Lonzo can rap too. I
actually heard Zoe rap before. Zoe can rap. But that's knocking. I rock with that. All right, Gelo. Halftime show of the All-Star game. What up?
That'd be hard.
Bring the Gelo bringing the All-Star game back. The All-Star game been dead.
That's hard.
Gelo here to save it. I gotta listen to that.
We
when
out
I
on the
tomorrow.
Gelo.
I'm on the Gelo. Whoa. Hey, we done here. This episode is a wrap. I'm going to listen to Gelo.
I swear we was going to school, whatever you say. Whoa. That shit knocking. We out.
Yeah. That's a wrap from this episode of the Draymond Green Show with my dog, BD.
That's a wrap. We out.
Peace.
Peace.